Hello friends and welcome to Goblin Talks. Today we are talking about free-to-play and in particular why your in-app purchases are garbage. Yes, that's right. I'm talking to you, Mr. Free-to-Play Dev. Your in-app purchases are probably garbage. And full disclosure, I work in the free-to-play industry. I am in the QA department, so I do have some biases involved there, just so you know. So here's the thing about games, okay? When we learn to play games and games throughout history, you start by learning the basic mechanics. So from a juggling perspective, you'd start by learning this, right? And then games will slowly build you up to learn new skills. So you might introduce a new ability, and then the game will teach you to use that, and then it'll teach you to use it repeatedly, and it'll teach you to master that until you can use it at any time, and then it'll introduce another ability, and it'll say, oh, now you can do this one, and then it'll teach you to use these two things together, right? So now you're starting to build on a set of skills. And basic gameplay, basic video games fall into that category of like, let me introduce a thing to you, learn it, master it, move on to the next thing, master it, etc. So what your IAPs are doing, your in-app purchases are doing in most free-to-play games is removing that skill curve. There are games that there's exceptions to that in. We could talk about League of Legends, which for the most part offers you new props, so it might offer you, oh hey, now it's glowing, hooray. But right, that doesn't actually involve anything having to do with the skills of playing the game. When you do IAPs like that, in-app purchases that do not affect power or skill level, they're fine. They're great. Games as a service is a great idea, but because of the way free-to-play developers are implementing this pay for power in any way, shape, or form, that does mean if you can affect a leaderboard, win a game against somebody who's practiced more than you because of the money you've spent, your game has a problem, and you should fix it. And that's why people really do kind of hate free-to-play games, particularly in the hardcore gamer segment, right? Casual gamers are a little bit behind. We have this new wave of casual gamers with phones and tablets. But you've got maybe 5 to 10 years before that train is going to be run out, and those people are going to learn better, and they're not going to want to pay you anymore for it. So I would recommend to you free-to-play developers that you sit down and start thinking, how can we sell things in our games, which are a service, that aren't going to affect the basic gameplay, that aren't going to allow somebody to all of a sudden be doing things that they never practiced to do, beating players who have put in hours of work simply because they paid you some money. I'm Goblin. I hope you enjoyed this talk. Follow me, share me, like me, come hang out with me.